Okay, good morning, good morning. So, you might want a cushion or a blanket, rolled up scarf, anything, for when we come into pigeon. If when you come into pigeon pose, you feel that you kind of, your hips are a little bit skew width, you can always pop a block underneath that bottom leg, the leg that's bent, to give you a little bit more support there rather than collapsing. And if pigeon isn't for you today, rather than having that back leg out straight, you can bend it into what's called deer pose. So you're in more of a zigzag shape. Okay, so hopefully there'll be alternatives and options for everyone today. Beautiful, right, let's get going. So I'm going to start with a little reading. So come to lie yourselves down. If you want to bring your knees in towards your chest, make sure you've got some room around you this morning that you can, there's a little bit of cheeky leg swinging going to go on. Let me just admit someone else here. There we go. Fantastic. So we've got someone else joining us. Lovely. Okay. So if you want to bring your knees in towards your chest and have a little rock or movement there at the beginning of the practice, especially if you have been making the most of this blessed good weather. You've been gardening or cycling, or like me doing Joe Wicks, and your back feels a little tight today. Feel free to just release through the back or the hips. Good morning, Susan. Come and join us. Just have a little easy lie down, give your knees a squeeze. And then just allow, when you've got any movement out of the way, just allow yourself to find a very comfortable position. Lying down on your back, you might have your feet on the floor and the knees pointed up towards the ceiling. And if the low back is tight today and you want to widen your feet almost towards the mat width apart, and then knock your knees into touch so you're making an inverted V shape, that can be quite supportive for your low back. Or you might feel comfortable extending the legs out fully. If you stretch the legs out, have a little roll through the ankles, rolling the toes in and out, and then allow your toes just to flop out to the sides. You might have to have a little bit of wobbling side to side so you can find a balance across your lower back. And the arms, as ever, just relaxed alongside you, or hands on the belly or the chest. I'm just going to come to seated for a moment there. And we've been starting our practices with some poetry, some words, and it's a line from a book, a couple of lines from a book. Because as we go into kind of week 5, I think we're really going to have to dig deep from here on in. Maybe the first couple of weeks of this strange lockdown experience almost felt, especially if you weren't working, a bit like a holiday, a strange one. But now I think the reality of the situation, the normality of the situation is beginning to settle. And I think we are going to have to dig deep into our inner resources to stay strong, stay sane, stay safe. And I've been reading a book called The Wintering by Catherine May. And it's a really beautiful book. And in this book, she talks about how her own life changed dramatically due to a serious illness. Situation beyond her control, almost like the situation we find ourselves in now. And there's a line from this book that I think maybe we all need to hang on to as we go into these next few weeks. So here's the line. This is wintering. It is the courage to stare down the worst parts of our experience and commit to healing them the best we can. This is wintering. It's the courage to stare down the worst parts of our experience and commit to healing them the best way we can. So we are going to need, or certainly I feel I'm going to need, a bit of courage from here on in. And we're going to focus on courage, resilience, strength today. So it's quite a strong practice. Lots of options though. And the seat of our courage and resilience is said to reside in our lower belly. That inner fire that we call upon when we need to, when we're faced with challenging circumstances. And in yoga, it's called Agni, Agni, fire. We can think about it as that deep resource of courage and resilience we all have. And we're going to have to tune in and tap into that the next few weeks. So let's bring one hand now onto your chest, one hand onto your lower belly, that seat of inner strength, courage. And try and breathe into that bottom hand now, breathing into that hand on the belly, regardless of what position the legs are in. So the belly and the chest rising into the space beneath your hands there. And begin to just draw the navel back down towards your spine a little bit more firmly now as you exhale, literally squeezing the air out. And then allow the belly to rise, unencumbered into your hand as you inhale. So exhale that little squeeze, so we're beginning to identify with, to warm up, that seat of our inner fire. Let's take a couple more rounds of breath there, really good as well, just to draw the breath all the way deep down into the lowermost lobes of the lungs there. Beginning to wake up that inner fire within us, that Agni. And let's release the arms down alongside you, keeping with perhaps that little squeeze as you extend the legs out long if the knees are bent. We'll take a full body stretch to begin with, extending the arms back above the head. And if the shoulders feel tight today, try taking the arms out in a wide V shape rather than alongside the ears. Regardless of whether they're in a V or alongside the ears, begin to lengthen out through the fingertips, pointing the toes gently. Try and soften the front of the rib cage so you're not overarching through the back. And just take a couple of breaths there, breathing into that whole space, the space behind you, in front of you, space above you. Lovely. Let's start waking up this inner fire. So let's bring the arms up and over and bring your right knee in towards the chest, giving that knee a little squeeze there. The knee might drop down towards your armpits or come down towards the chest. Nice stretch through the back of the hip into the low back, and then release the right leg and release the arms all the way back, coming back to a full body stretch. And then squeeze that right knee in. Got a bit of Stevie Wonder here to wake us up. Squeezing that knee in. Lovely, let's add the breath. Inhale, both legs, both arms extend. Exhale, right knee to chest, give it a little squeeze. One of my favorite songs. Inhale, full body stretch. Left knee, give it a little squeeze. So we can stay here with the head down and beginning to wake up that inner fire. As the knee comes to the chest, we lift the head. Shoulders slide down away from the ears, and then when you're ready to inhale, extend and open into that full body stretch. Squeezing on an exhale, maybe rounding up nose to knee. Lovely. So really try and keep the neck nice and long. Sliding the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. If you're with me, let's do one more with the right leg, knee to chest. Ooh, have no one had a big breakfast? We might literally regret it. Ooh, squeezing that left knee in. And this time, let's bring the right knee to the chest and pause. Squeezing that knee in. And then bring the head down. Knee stays where it is. And as you squeeze that knee in and down, you might notice it wants to open a little bit towards the armpit. A little bit of opening through the hip. Mine tends to want to roll out to the side. And let's try releasing the left arm all the way back behind you. Back of the hand stretches along the floor behind you and flex that right foot so the heel pushes away from you. Just take a couple of breaths there, breathing into that left side. Whilst continuing to squeeze that right knee in and down or slightly out towards the armpits. Lovely. And then let's bring both hands to the right knee, sliding that left heel back in towards you just to support the back. Holding behind the right leg, let's come into that first hamstring stretch of the day. So keep the hands quite low down towards the bottom and add a little bit of movement there to the ankle. You can circle, you can point and flex. Or just freeing up the joint. And then again, let's flex the foot, pushing the heel away from you, putting the toes towards the face. Try and keep the neck nice and long. If you want, you can walk up the leg. But we'll keep the other leg on the floor to start with, just to support the back. Lovely. Again, hollowing out through that navel to spine, keeping the belly nice and strong there. And then slowly, slowly, right knee to chest. Then extend the right leg out nice and long and give that left knee a little squeeze. So we're going to repeat that sequence, working the left side. So as you inhale, extend arms and legs. Exhale, one knee to chest. It really doesn't matter which, maybe nose to knee. Inhale as you open and extend. Other side. So again, just coming back to that little inner squeeze. Lovely. So again, the next time you have your left knee hugged in and down, let's pause and meet there. If you're rounding up, we lower the head, but we keep that knee squeezed. It might come down towards the armpit. Beautiful. And then releasing the right arm, so right leg out nice and long, flexing the foot, push the heel away from you, stretch back through the fingertips and maybe allow that left knee to open down towards the armpit. But try and sit a little bit more heavily into that right bottom so you're not rolling to the left side. Lovely. Breathing some space into that right side. And then both hands come to the left knee, sliding that right foot to the floor so the knee points to the ceiling to support the back as you extend left leg up. And again, the lower the hands are to the bottom, the more support we'll give the hamstring. Little point and flex, little twirl through the foot. Let's bring some nice space into the ankle there. And then again, push the heel away from you, pull the toes down towards the face. Tuck the chin down towards the chest so the neck is long. And we can stay there or slide the hands up and lift nose to knee. Lovely. So again, we're hollowing out through the belly there. And then slowly, slowly release. Bring the left knee and the right knee to the chest. Hook the ankles and have a little circle out through the knees there. Just a few stirs each way. Yeah. We're going to come up to seated. So you can hold behind your knees and do a few rolls back and forth just to massage up through the back before you come up to seated. Or just roll to one side and we'll all meet in a comfortable seated position. I'm going to come to cross-legged. I'm going to bring one heel in towards the groin and then cross the other shin in front. But if that's not for you, you can extend the legs, and this is when a cushion underneath your hips or that little pillow might help there. Let's bring the hands onto the knees. Lifting up through the breastbone. Let's start circling the hips. So start to move the body round. It really doesn't matter which way you're moving, but we're focusing again on hollowing out through the belly. So as you lean back, you're beginning again to engage that area of strength and resilience this morning. Might be big, generous movements with the body, might be a little smaller, depends on how you're feeling this morning. And when you come again to the biggest movement you can, we'll pause and then take the movement around the opposite way. So you start to circle around. So you might find that you're moving kind of around on the base of your pelvis there. Gently trying to push the knees down and away from you to keep the hips nice and open. And start to make that movement a little bit smaller now. It's like an inward spiral until you come to stillness. Sitting up nice and tall. So we're going to do the same movement, but with just your chest. So it's a little bit like a washing machine drum moving on a slow spin cycle. So just your chest, you push the ribs forwards, slide them over to the side, a little bit of navel to spine as you lean back, and then you slide the ribs the opposite way, push them forwards, slide the opposite way. So it's still kind of slinky salsa move. Whoa, look at you, slinky yogis. Yeah, so imagine you're doing kind of a sultry salsa kind of movement there. And then take that around the opposite way. Oh, it always feels a little kind of jammy. So we're trying again just to free up some space. We're working the core, we're trying to get some movement around the ribs. It's probably one to practice, isn't it? A little salsa move. And again, just make the movements a little bit smaller until finally you come to stillness. And finally the shoulders. So roll the shoulders forwards and up. And then slide them all the way back and down. So twice more, all the way up towards the ears, gather up tension, and then slide them down the back. Lovely. One more, sliding them forwards and up, and then all the way back and down, and then 3 big circles the other way. So you're coming forwards now. It looks a bit funny. Yeah, it's like Tommy Cooper, those of you old enough to remember him, just like that. Beautiful. Now shrug the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, just let them drop. Twice more. Inhale, shrug up the shoulders, gather up all of that tension. And then exhale, let them go. Last time, all the way up. Exhale, release. Keep the shoulders down. A little cross core now. So your right shoulder, you're going to drop it down towards your left knee, trying to roll that shoulder inwards, and you're looking down towards the left knee. Try and keep that right bottom on the floor and gently push the right knee away from you, so you're getting a nice stretch through the back of the shoulder. And then sitting up nice and tall, changing sides, so drop left shoulder towards right knee and look down. Lovely. Inhale through center. Exhale, so do that little cross core work a few times each way. I like to keep the gaze down, it just keeps my neck a little bit more comfortable. So as you drop the shoulder towards the opposite knee, the hand is pushing that knee away from you. So again, we're trying to find some space in the hip. Let's do one more. Right shoulder to left knee. And last time, left shoulder to right knee. Lovely. Coming all the way back through center. Walk the hands just away from you now, fingertips pointing in or slightly out. Roll the shoulders, push into the hands, straightening off through the arms, and have that delicious stretch. I don't like to throw my head back here. I'm going to keep my chin just gently drawn in. Option, if you're feeling okay in the hips, is to push the hips forwards and ups and the bottom lifts, and you're pressing the knees down. Lovely. Slowly lower the hips. Keep the hands where they are. Lean into the hands and just cross the legs the opposite way if you had them crossed, or just give them a shake. Okay, let's start to wake up through the core. So as you inhale, sweep the arms forwards and up. Then as you make a fist and exhale, draw the elbows down and towards the waist. Lovely. Spread the fingers. Inhale, sit forwards as you inhale. And exhale, begin to lean back. Elbows snuggle into the waist, navel just fine. Inhale, sit forwards and up. Inhale. And rocking back. Exhale again, that little rounding through the back. Maybe the knees start to lift. Inhale. This time as you exhale, see if you can lean back. Maybe hover the feet off the floor. Change the cross of the ankles. Inhale, sit forwards and up. Exhale, we rock back. See if you can hover the legs. Recross the ankles. Inhale, forwards and up. Do that a couple more times. If you just want to keep the legs on the floor, or you're joining me, so you've got that little hover point. Once more, inhale. This time as you exhale, we'll lean back. See if you can hover the legs, holding on underneath the legs. And we'll bring the shins parallel to the floor. So if that's not for you today, bring the toes down and just lift up through the chest. And if you're joining me, we're in that little half boat pose. So happily stay there again, waking up that inner fire. Or straightening one leg as you inhale. And as you exhale, bend both legs. Lovely. Sit up nice and tall. Other side, inhale. And exhale. You can do this with the toes on the floor. We'll do one more each way, either with the legs hovering or tapping down each way. And we'll all pause there, knees to chest, just lifting up nice and tall. Option to stay there, lift the toes, or straighten the legs. And if you're feeling up for a challenge, our first one of the day, extend the arms out, palms up, and lift up through the breastbone. Spread the fingers, smile and breathe. See if we can hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring the feet down, hug the knees, and take a little rounding through the back. Lovely. That's getting us going this morning. Beautiful. Let's tuck the feet to one side and make our way onto all fours. Middle of the mat, making sure you've got some space in front and behind you. So you bring the hands down under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Let's start with a familiar. So as you dip the belly down, allow the back to arch and keep the back of the neck nice and long as you find that first stretch. Imagine you're stretching through the front seam of the body there. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale again, hollowing out through the belly. Get that lovely rounding through the back. And then rolling with your breath. So you might be moving faster or slower than I am. You might want to keep the eyes closed. but really getting that sucking up of your belly button towards your spine. Lovely. Let's do a couple more like that. Inhaling and exhaling as your breath dictates. Lovely. Let's do just once more. And then we'll all meet in a nice tabletop, long, flat back, looking towards the top of your mat. Now, I'm just going to walk my hands slightly forwards of my shoulders just to give me a little bit more space for this next move. And we'll take the right toes up towards the ceiling, so a little bend in the knees, so you're poking the toes up towards the ceiling. And then shift the weight forwards, and keeping the elbows hugged in, we're going to dip the nose forwards at the fingertips. It might be a little dip, it might be a big dip. Push the floor away, and then bring that knee in towards the chest and round up through the back, nose to knee. Inhale, poke the toes to the ceiling. And as you exhale, shift the weight forwards and down, a little or a lot. Squeeze those elbows in. Push the floor away as you inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, nose to knee. Twice more. So much better to have a smaller dip and hug those elbows in than have a sort of chicken wing and come all the way down. So really hugging those elbows in. Last time, inhaling. Exhaling, shifting forwards and down, so you make a little triangle with your nose and your hands all the way up. And squeezing in, and this time let's extend that right leg all the way back behind you, dropping that right hip down so both hips face the floor, flexing the foot, push the heel away from you. And then if you wish, opposite arm, left arm extends, upper arm alongside the ear, taking them out on the diagonal if you wish, little balance challenge. And beautiful, hand down, knee down. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, let's stretch it all out before we do the other side. Exhale as you round like an angry cat. Once more, Miu's not put an appearance in yet. It has to, I must bring him in one day when I'm feeling particularly brave. And then finding that nice long spine. And this time it's the left toes that poke up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Shift the weight forwards and down so the nose comes just beyond the fingertips, elbows squeeze in. Push the floor away. And then knee to chest, nose to knee. With the breath, inhale, poke the ceiling. Exhale, forwards and down again. Much better to have a small, more controlled move. Squeezing on in, lovely, twice more. Shifting forwards and down, building up a little bit of strength, lovely. Squeezing all in, last time. Inhale. That little dipping down. Ooh. Squeezing in, and then let's extend that leg all the way back behind you, dropping the left hip. Just making sure both hips face down. An option, opposite arm, right arm, thumb up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Again, hugging navel to spine. Beautiful. And then bring the hands down and bring the knees down. Lovely. So from here on in, you're going to have an animal of choice. You can work from cat on all fours, or you can join me in a downward dog. You can alternate between the two. Choice is yours. If you're going to join me in the first downward dog of the day, let's tuck the toes, shift the weight back, and just lift up nice and high. If you're on all fours, just to do a little cat-cow, arching and rounding the back. And if you're in that downward dog, we'll take a nice easy walking out through our heels. Maybe a little shake of the head, a wobble of the hips side to side, just keeping it nice and loose. Just finding that shape, how that feels today. And we're going to do a little flow here. So if you're on all fours, you're going to inhale and exhale back into child pose. Inhale onto all fours and exhale back into child pose. You're going to work with that. If you're with me in downward dog, let's come into lady dog, wearing your stilettos, lifting the heels up nice and high. Keep the heels lifted, bend the knees and push your rib cage back towards your thighs. Lovely. And then straightening the legs, hips come nice and high, heels still lifted. And then allow the heels to sink all the way down to the floor. Inhaling, lifting up heels, lady dog. Exhale, bend the knees, rib cage to thighs. Straightening the legs, hips nice and high. Inhale. Exhale as you sink the heels. Lovely. Let's see if we can do that twice more. All the way up. Remember, you can do it from all fours. Inhaling into your arching of the back. Exhaling into child pose. Exhale, bring the heels down if you're with me. Last time. Inhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, ribcage to thighs, stretching out through the side body. Whoop, straightening the legs. And then we'll meet in a downward dog or all fours. Choice is yours. Lovely. So you can work from all fours or in downward dog. If you're in downward dog, bring your left foot just to the middle of the mat. And we'll take the right leg all the way up and back. You can do this from all fours. Lovely. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, bend the knee, shift the weight forward. So bring right knee to the right elbow. Woo! Inhale all the way up and back. Remember, you can do it from all fours. Exhale, shift the weight, right knee, right elbow. See if you can touch it. Lovely. Once more. Shifting the weight. Gorgeous. Little cheeky challenge all the way up and back. And this time as you exhale, we're going to come into pigeon. So right knee behind the right wrist. So that right shin is diagonally across your mat and you're sliding that left leg back and flattening the foot. Remember, you can lean into that right side and bend the left knee coming into deer pose. So we're going to be in proud pigeon today. So let's just tuck the left foot under, pick up the knee, and see if you can walk that leg back, little wiggle, opening up some more space in the top of the hip before you flatten the foot. If you find that you're lying onto your right bottom a little bit more, this is when you can pop a cushion under a block onto your right bottom. So see if you can maybe come up onto your fingertips, sink the hips down and lift up the chest. So we're getting a nice stretch through the front of the body again. So this might be where you want to stay today, either with that back leg straight or bent in deer pose. Lovely. So lots of cheeky challenges today. If you want your first cheeky challenge, the right hand comes around the body onto your low back, so you're twisting to the right. If that's not nice for the back or the shoulders, keep both hands on the floor. Lovely. Cheeky challenge number 2, you lift that back foot towards you, bending the knee. And maybe you can take hold around the front of the foot and begin to turn the chest and draw the heel in towards the bottom. That's tight, that's a cheeky challenge. You don't have to do that today. Just be really mindful of all of those major joints, shoulders, hips, and into the low back. Lovely. Slowly, slowly, if you're holding onto that foot, and let the foot go. Bring the hands down. Shift the weight into your right bottom. Lean to the right so you can swish that left leg forwards. Sole of the right foot, inside of the left thigh. Oh, I told you it's going to be some cheeky challenges today. Right hand behind the right hip. And as you inhale, sweep the left arm across the body. And as you exhale, sweep it all the way back down. Happily stay there. Or as you inhale, roll to the inside of that left foot, lift the hips, sweep the arm up. Beautiful. And as you exhale, slowly lower. You can keep the bottom down or twice more with me. Sweeping the arm, pushing the hips forwards and up. Gorgeous. So this next one, let's hold that pose. So you might just have the arm lifted, you might have the hips lifted. And see if you can gently elongate through the side of the body, pushing the hips forwards and maybe taking that top arm just towards the wall behind you. Beautiful. Slowly, slowly, let's come all the way down. Cheeky challenge to get back. We're going to come into pigeon. So you swish that left leg all the way back behind you, coming into pigeon. This is when coffee tables are going to get in the way, aren't they? Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, and find your way back into downward dog or all fours. Oh, beautiful. And from downward dog or all fours, shift the weight forwards, shoulders above wrists, lower the knees, and lower the chest down again, elbows hugged in nice and tight. Make a little pillow for your head, bending one hand on top of the other, resting the forehead down. Point the toes up towards the ceiling, little bend in the knees, and just start to circle the legs. So you're getting a little massage out through the knees. So just swish the legs around in a circle. I'm going to lift my head up just so I can talk to you. And then just swish the legs around in the opposite direction. So get a little bit of massage out through the lower belly and the knees. And then let's relax the legs down, about hip width apart. And extend the arms out in front of you. Thumbs up towards the ceiling. Again, forehead down on the floor. I'm going to lift my head up a little bit so you can hear me. So This next exercise, any back issues, you might just want to keep your head and chest down on the floor. Let's all do that for the first one. So keeping the forehead on the floor, can you reach forwards with the left arm and reach that left arm until it comes off the floor, up arm alongside the ear, and then opposite leg, right leg, lifting from the top of the hip. So we're not bending the leg is straight, lovely. And then slowly lower the arm and the leg down. Other side, forehead on the floor, right arm, left leg. So you're reaching out on that diagonal, beautiful. And slowly lower. You can add that lift of the head and the chest. So as you inhale, lifting the head and the chest, left arm, right leg, the gaze stays down, neck stays long. Exhale, lower. Other side, so opposite arm and leg lifting. If you want to lift the head and the neck, head and the chest, feel free. If you prefer to keep them down, I'm just going to look towards you, make sure everyone's safe. So really trying to get that sense of lengthening the limbs away from the center. So it's length rather than height. Let's do one more with the left arm and the right leg. A little star, beautiful. And then last time with that right arm, left leg, beautiful. So you can either do one more on either side or join me. This time as you inhale, both arms, both legs. So you're in a version of locust pose. Beautiful. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down. Last time, either alternating sides or both arms, both legs. Slowly lower down. Make that little pillow for your head. Point the toes up towards the ceiling. And this time just windscreen wiping the legs from side to side, just to massage out through the low back and across the hips. Beautiful. And then extend through the legs, hands alongside the shoulders. Push up onto all fours, stay there, or join me downward facing dog, hips nice and high. Beautiful, so ready for that little sequence on the left leg. So either inhaling into your cow pose, arching the back, and exhaling into child pose if you're on all fours. Or from downward dog, inhale, lift the heels, lady dog. Exhale, bend the knees, push the rib cage to thighs, like you want to spring forwards. Inhale, straighten the legs, hips high. Exhale, lower the heels once more. Putting on those high heels as you inhale. Keep them on as you exhale, but bend the knees and send your rib cage to your thighs. Lovely. All the way up with the hips as the legs straighten. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the heels. Right foot comes to the middle of the mat. Ready for that little sequence on the left leg. So float the left leg up and back. Big breath in. Exhale, knee to left elbow as you shift the weight forwards. Lovely. Whoosh, all the way up and back. Inhale. Exhale, knee, can you brush to the inside of the elbow as you come forwards? All the way up and back, beautiful. Last time, remember you can work from all fours. Last one, inhale. And this time as you exhale, let's bring that left leg into pigeon. So very carefully, left knee behind left wrist. Sliding that right leg back, have a little wiggle. Or you can always bend the knee in deer pose. So just trying to square up hips and heart to the front of the mat. You might want to tuck the back foot under, have a little wiggle, walking the leg a little further away from you to open up through the hip, and trying again to avoid rolling onto that left bottom. Beautiful. So proud pigeon, so you sink deep in the hips and up with the chest. So we can stay here or we can take the first of those cheeky challenges. So the left hand this time comes around to the low back. So you're turning your chest towards that left knee. Lovely. So we can stay there, or again, if the back, the hips, shoulders are okay, you might want to bend the knee. And right knee bends, you might be able to catch hold of the top of the right foot. And you bring the heel in towards the bottom, so you're turning your chest towards the left there. So it's a little twisted pigeon there. Remember, that's not going to be for everybody. Lovely. Slowly release the leg. Lean to the left so you can swish that right leg forwards, bringing the sole of the left foot inside of the right thigh. Lovely. Left hand comes behind the hip. Right arm sweeps up and across the body as you inhale, and exhale as you lower. So this time you might want to lift the hips, so you'll roll into the inside of the right foot, push the hips forwards and up, and then slowly release twice more. So if you don't want to lift the hips, you're just getting that lovely movement through the arm. Wow. Last time, and we'll pause and hold. So all the way up, push the hips forwards, and I'm taking that top thumb almost behind the line of the body. So I'm coming into a very gentle back bend. Lovely. Slowly, slowly lower down. And then that little swoosh, so we sweep that right leg all the way back behind us, coming into pigeon. Tuck the toes, back onto all fours, or join me downward facing dog. Lovely. From downward dog, let's roll the body forwards to plank. You might want to lower the knees, or again, cheeky challenge, keep the knees lifted as you lower yourself down with control. Beautiful. Flatten the feet, hands alongside the shoulders. We come up into a cobra, but let the head hang. So push into the floor, let the head hang so the neck stays nice and long, and then stretch the belly and the chest all the way down. Twice more. Inhale, hugging those elbows in towards the rib cage, pushing the hips down, head hangs. Exhale as you lower. Beautiful. Last one. So really nice release through the neck. Lovely. And then from there, let's push onto all fours and take a child pose for a moment. Maybe propping yourself up on your elbows and just giving the wrists a little bit of a twizzle. So we're going to build our little cheeky challenge flow. And again, you can work from all fours. So as you stretch the arms out nice and long, just take a nice breath there into the sides of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Then when you're ready, either all fours or joining me, downward facing dog. Hips nice and high. Beautiful. Okay, so right leg. I'm going to take the right leg up and back. And this time we're going to bend the knee and point the right knee up towards the ceiling in that little dog peeing on a lamppost. Lovely. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, right knee comes to left elbow. Woo! And then inhale, that little dog peeing on a lamppost. Open the hip. Remember, you can work from all fours. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. I told you it was cheeky challenge. Last time, inhale. Oh, and exhale. So this next time, we'll take that leg all the way up and back, knee to ceiling. This time, as you exhale, step that right foot forwards between the hands, helping out if it doesn't get there. And we'll lower the back knee. Keep the toes tucked. Rising up into that low lunge. And let's bring the hands down to the heart. Lifting breastbone to make your thumbs. Ooh, getting a bit of a sweat on. Beautiful. So take an inhale. As you exhale, take a twist to the right, keeping your chin above your fingertips. Inhale through center. Exhale other side. So really trying to keep that movement in the rib cage as you just twist gently from side to side. So we're not throwing the head from side to side, we're just keeping the neck in alignment with the rest of the spine. This next time you twist to the right, pause. Back of the left hand comes to the outside of the leg. Right hand comes to the low back. Roll that right shoulder back, and this time maybe you can look towards the wall behind you. So just using a little bit of resistance, pushing that right knee into the hand and the hand into the knee, so we're keeping the chest nice and open. Now you can stay here this morning, or as you inhale, sweep the left arm up. And as you exhale, lean forwards, hook elbow over knee, and bring the palms together. Fingertips face forwards, top elbow points up towards the ceiling. You can look up as you push the palms together, or look down, whatever's best for your neck. And try and bring your thumbs towards your breastbone there. So we've got the option to stay there, or lifting that back knee, keep the hips nice and low as you straighten off through the legs. And last cheeky challenge for this pose is maybe to separate the arms, if you wish. So we're using the back of that left arm, that forearm there, to open up through the chest. Beautiful, guys. And then slowly, slowly, let's bring the hands down to frame the foot. Let's take that right leg all the way up and back, bending the knee one last time, offering that right foot down towards the left shoulder. And then finding your way back to a downward facing dog shape, or all fours. Other side, so left leg lifts this time. Bending the knee so the knee points to the ceiling, and drop left ankle towards right knee. You're ready. Inhale. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Ooh, inhale, that little dog peeing on a lamppost. Exhale, squeeze that knee across the body. Can you touch the elbow? Last time. Squeeze it across the body. Oh, let's take that knee up towards the ceiling. And this time we'll step or help that left foot forwards. Drop the back knee. Raising the arms up. Bring the hands all the way down the midline to the heart. Lovely. Lift the breastbone to meet the thumbs. And we start that little turning of the rib cage from side to side. So the chin stays in line with your fingertips as you just take that little movement, making sure that that front knee doesn't wobble in or out. Lovely, bringing out through that midsection. The next time that you're facing towards that left knee, we'll pause. Lovely, and then the back of the right hand comes to the outside of the left knee or thigh. Left hand wraps behind you, so you can roll that left shoulder back, so you're looking maybe over that back shoulder or wherever is comfortable for the neck. So we can stay there, or right arm lifts as you inhale. And as you exhale, we lean forward so you can hook the elbow over the knee or the thigh. Fingertips point forwards. Left elbow points up towards the ceiling, and you bring your thumbs towards your breastbone, breastbone towards your thumbs. Option to stay there, or lift the back knee, so you keep the hips low. We're stretching that back leg away from you. An option to spread the arms wide like wings, so you're just pressing that back of that right forearm into the knee. Lovely, slowly release, bring the hands down. Step back all fours, or last little bit, turning that knee up towards the ceiling, dog peeing on a lamppost. Whoosh! And then slowly, slowly lowering the feet. Walking the feet a little wider than hip width apart now. Lowering down onto all fours. Point the big toes towards one another and sit back into hare pose. Extend the legs, or maybe extend the arms, or maybe a little pillow or platform for your forehead if that's more comfortable. Allow the body just to sink back towards your heels. Take a couple of easy breaths there. I'll come and face you now. Lovely. Beautiful. Then slowly, slowly walking your hands back towards your knees. And just point both knees forwards. And sit up on your heels. Now, if this isn't for you in hero pose, you can always pop something between your bottom and your heels, a little cushion there, or extend the legs out fully. If the knees don't like being compressed, you can work from cross-legged or with the legs extended. Lovely. So sitting up nice and tall there. Let's just finish off just through stretching through the side body, our last little challenge here. So I'm going to bring the right hand down to the side and take the left arm all the way up and over. Just see if you can nudge the hips over towards the left. So you're taking that nice C shape through the body. Lovely, inhale through center. And as you exhale, let's come over to the other side. So as the left hand comes down, right arm comes up and over. So you're just pushing the hips. And you see I'm kind of trying just to bow my body over. So I'm getting that nice C shape. Lovely. Let's work side to side with the breath. Inhale through center. And as you exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. Inhale through center. Exhale, other side. So, cheeky challenge. Inhale. And this time as you exhale, right hand down. And you might want to lift the hips as you take the left arm up and over. Inhaling, bottom to heels. Exhaling over to the other side, maybe lifting the hips. Beautiful. So let's do one more each way. With or without that hip lift. Beautiful. Nice. So the next time you come back in from the left side, let's pause in that hero pose, sitting on the heels. Lovely. So if you're working from cross leg, stretch the legs out in front of you, give them a little shake, recross them the opposite way. Let's come back to that right hand down. Push the hips over to the left, and let's take the left arm all the way up and over. So if you've got the legs extended or crossed, you're going to stay here. If you're with me, lift the hips if you can, push the hips forwards. An option now to extend that left leg out to the left. Beautiful. Last little challenge if you want. Lift that left leg, flexing the foot, pushing the heel away from you. Push the hips forward so you're in that long side stretch. Beautiful supported side plank. Lovely. And then slowly lower the foot, bring the knees together and come all the way back through center. Other side. So you're just bringing the left hand down and just shift the weight to your shoulders above the wrists. And then we take the right arm up and over. We can lift the hips. You can extend that right leg out nice and long. So you're just pushing that top hip up towards the ceiling. And last little bit, we can stretch that top leg out. So you push the hips forwards, flexing the foot. Beautiful. Then lower down, bring the knees together. Sit back into hero pose. Drop the bottom to one side and stretch the legs out and give them a shake. Beautiful. It's going to make your way back to lie in the middle of your mat. Heels quite close in towards your bottom to ease your way down. And then bring one knee and then the other in towards the chest. And just have a little soothing rock from side to side. Maybe the head beginning to turn in the opposite direction to the knees. Lovely massage out through the back. Well done, guys. Through a few cheeky challenges at you today. I figured the time for lying around and feeling sorry for ourselves was done. We need some fire in our bellies here. Slowly, slowly, let's come back to center. Now, if there are any back issues going on today, feel free to work this next one with your feet on the floor, knees either together or hip width apart with the feet and the knees. Back feels okay. You bring the knees back to the chest and we'll all bring the arms out shoulder height. Lovely. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let's tick-tock the knees to the right, rolling the gaze to the left. Inhale through center. Exhaling other side. So just working with the breath. So if the knees are gathered towards your chest, you're having once more to use that strong center to draw the knees back up through center. And the next time the knees are coming in from the left side, let's pause. Now hold that twist, dropping the knees over to the right. So we can settle on in there, either bringing the knees up towards the chest or sliding the feet further away from you, so you're deepening the angle at the top of the hips there. Roll the head if you're comfortable to look along that back arm. And let's bring the right hand just gently to rest on top of the left ribs. And take 3 nice deep breaths into that left side. So you're really bringing the breath into that right hand. And as you exhale, just allow the rib cage, that left rib cage, to sink beneath your hands. Twice more, so that big swelling breath. And then slowly release. Just once more, drawing the breath into that right hand. And then slowly just free that right arm up, so both arms are out, shoulder height, palms up towards the ceiling. Just hold that twist for a moment longer, really allowing the body just to yield into that shape that you've made, continuing to breathe generously into that left side. And then let's bring the head back to center and the knees back to center. So again, you can work with the feet on the floor as you drop the knees over to the left this time. You can scoop them up towards your chest for a deeper stretch in the back, or slide the feet further away from you. And this time, let's bring the left hand just to rest really tenderly on the top of that right rib cage. 3 generous breaths. And as you release, you can really allow the rib cage to sink. Lovely. Getting a little bit of movement. Those little muscles between the ribcage helps us maximize each breath. And then when you've taken those 3 generous breaths, no rush, we release the arms out shoulder height, palms up towards the ceiling. You're almost trying to press your thumbs into the floor behind you, so you're really trying to open up through the palms there. So you're rotating, slightly openly rotating the shoulders there as you press the thumbs down. Slowly, slowly bring the head and then the knees all the way back to center. Giving the knees one last squeeze, one last little massage out through the back before you bring the feet down to the floor if you've not done so already. Extend the legs and extend both arms all the way back, taking that full body stretch just as we started, and maybe noticing at the end of our practice whether that feels different, whether there's more space available to you to open and unfurl into this morning. And then as you just gently allow the arms to come all the way back down alongside you, again, palms up towards the ceiling, or a hand on the belly, a hand on the chest, either taking the feet a little wider apart. Again, that little flop of the feet in and out to relax the legs and the hips, allowing the toes just to flop open to the side. Or if the back is tight, feet nice and wide, knees up towards the ceiling, and then allow your inner knees to knock together. And after those little cheeky challenges, let's allow the body now just to sink into Shavasana. Just becoming aware of your breath, letting it settle. Take a few breaths there, accepting the breath for how it is at the end of the practice. You might be breathing in through your nose, your mouth, or maybe alternating between the two. And on that next exhalation, really try and breathe out completely. A little bit of navel drawing back to the spine. And then gently inhale deeply through your nose. Really bringing that breath all the way deep down into that lower lobes of the lungs. And then softly exhaling, allowing the navel once more to drop gently back towards the spine, emptying your lungs completely. That a couple more times, just letting your mind and your body just soften on each exhale as you gently push the breath out, navel gently drawing back to the spine. One last time, one last squeeze, one last reminder of where we have that inner strength, resilience in our belly, and then just allow the breath to settle. No forcing, no pulling of navel back to spine, just allow softness to return. Letting your breath flow steadily through your nose or your mouth. Allowing each breath to come to its natural end. And then just gently opening up to receive the in-breath. Receiving the breath as you inhale. And releasing the breath as you exhale. When your attention just moves away from your breath, maybe pulling you forward into the rest of the week or mulling over events long gone, Just observe that that's happened. And then very gently refocus. Bringing the attention back to each breath, receiving each inhale fully and deeply, and releasing each exhale completely. Beginning now to give a little bit more energy to your inhale, that component of our breath which helps to revive and restore us. And allowing the breath to be released, softening, just noticing where we each might be holding that passport of tension, just making sure that tension doesn't creep back into the shoulders or the face. The hands are resting on your chest or your belly. Just allow the arms to drop down alongside you so you can begin to softly just wiggle the fingers or open and close the hands, making soft fists before spreading the fingers wide. A bit of wiggling of the toes, never rushing the body back from Shavasana. Maybe rock of the head from side to side, chin dropping down towards shoulder, easing out tension from the neck. And then we'll all meet when you're ready. And again, there's no rush in that generous full body extension. Allowing the arms to reach back into the space behind you, lengthening out through the legs, and take a couple of nice generous breaths there, really breathing into the space above you, finding the chest and the belly rising to receive each inhale and softening back as you exhale, getting us ready, stoking that fire for the week ahead. And when you're ready, just bring the knees back in towards your chest, very slowly, one at a time. You can linger in stillness, knees drawn in and down, or you can massage out through the back, rolling side to side, a little circling of the knees. And then wherever there's more space, just roll onto one side. It really doesn't matter, just wherever there's more space available to you in your room. And then come and join me, comfortably seated, whatever that means for you this morning, cross-legged or legs extended. And we'll turn the palms up, so back of the hands resting on the knees or the thighs. Again, that little kind of lifting up through the breastbone, sitting right on top of your sit bones, so we're not slumping back. And with palms up, set again energetically to help us receive energy. So just reminding ourselves of those words from Wintering by Catherine May. This is wintering. It is the courage to stare down the worst parts of our experience and commit to healing them the best we can. So bringing your hands just to your heart and Anjali Mudra, dropping the chin down towards your chest, and just thanking each other collectively for coming together on this Sunday morning to share our practice. So sending you lots of love and strength and courage this week, and the week after, and the week after that. And namaste. Thank you for your practice. Let's unmute everybody so we can have a little chit chat.